Okay, and it is time for our All-Star Pro here at TW9. But first, let's take a look at the so far rankings for the Power 500. It looks like Aaron Knight is in pole position to take that spot. And then we've got the Canadian Wrestling Alliance and the female tag team of the year so far. Laura Flame and Lauren Easter. And then male tag team, Pharaoh King and Multimillionaro. Match of the year is Shooter, Sean Dealey, and Aaron Knight defeating Ricky Colt and Cameron VC. And the show of the year is Canadian Wrestling Alliance Super Slam. The male young wrestler is Huracan. He's at EILL right now. Female young wrestler is Jessica Conroy. And male veteran wrestler so far is Sammy Batch. If he wasn't under an exclusive deal, I might have considered signing him. And for female veteran is Nina Kasi. Female wrestler of the year so far is Brooke Tyler. Female independent wrestler of the year so far has been Mystery Pink in Centro. I'm gonna see if I can try and bring her. Nope. Okay. Male independent wrestler Artemis Rochester. I'm gonna see if I can make him active in the United States. Move him closer to All-Star Pro. Nope. Okay, then. So there's all that. And I have decided to change things up. I have decided I will be doing a bi-weekly event that will have a name change every time we do an event. For a little bit of the rest of the year, I also will have a couple of other matches, a couple of other events along with the bi-weekly event. So we start things off with self-destruction, and then we of course will be doing Psycho Circus. And I just realized that I should probably move my pre-booking over to self-destruction, but that's okay. I believe I can use the pre-bookings for here on self-destruction. Perfect. And yeah, self-destruction will be the first event we do for this episode. And then we will go do the 2 bi-weekly events, I believe, is what we'll do as well. Times of Trouble. So self-destruction, the 2 bi-weekly events, and Times of Trouble. So that is what we will be doing this time around. And yeah, let's get moving on to the next thing. We're now at 8% in merchandise, and yeah, catch you guys on the flip side. I'll be right back. Okay, and we're back, and it's time now for self-destruction. I'm gonna make self-destruction 2.5 hours long for this event. Um, and I have decided that I will be starting up the Gold Star tournament this here at Self Destruction. And I will not be giving anyone the night off. Select a generic venue. Finalize broadcasters. We'll go commercial network. Booking team meeting. I need to change the booking team. I forgot about that. The masked grappler is still at his probationary period. But he generates a lot of creative energy, and he's got bad booking chemistry with Funkenstein. We'll do an angle idea. Likely to succeed. A character idea. Bit of a gamble on the masked grappler, so I'm not going to do it. Character idea, a bit of a gamble. Okay. Locker room incidents. Mosher lifted the locker room. When a silly game he created quickly became very popular. Coach Norman was being cheerful and fun. Power Girl and Texas Hangman apparently got into a heated argument. Pre-show training drills. Cool beans. Let's do pull the rib. I'm going to pull the rib on Flying Patriot. The rib has gone down well with the rest of the locker room. Okay. We are going to now set up the card. I will be back. Okay, and we are set to go to our next show here, Self-Destruction. And I did in fact start up the Gold Star tournament. And Mercutio Sleep will be defending the All-Star Pro 5-Star Championship. So there you go there. We've got a promo battle opener taking place as well. So there you go there. And yeah. We've got a couple of tournament matchups taking place. And we are actually about to start up the show with Primetime Jack Pride, who enters in the ring, and he starts talking about what happened at Wild and Wicked, and he says, Roger Montero, what do you mean I was selfish? What do you mean I did all of these bad things? Roger, I was trying to work with you. I wanted to become the the next big thing between me and you. I wanted to become the All-Star Pro 5-star tag team champions with you. And then Roger Montero comes out and basically he says, Primetime Jack Pride, you couldn't give two shits what happens between me and you. I saw you working with other people. When I was struggling, you did not give me a chance. When you and I come down to it, we are not a good enough tag team. And when it comes down to it, you are a terrible wrestler. The only reason you are here right now is because you look good and you talk good. And then Primetime Jack Pride says, oh yeah? Well then if that's the case, let's have a match. And Roger says, fine, I accept. I'll see you at Psycho Circus. So these two get into a very heated argument. Roger Montero clear and Primetime Jack Pride improvised well. The angle got the crowd hotter, and it definitely got the show off to a strong start with a 48. Holy shit. Yeah, that definitely hypes up the matchup between Primetime Jack Pride and Roger Montero. One of our very first storylines we've ever did here at All Star Pro is finally about to come to an end here at Psycho Circus. And then we saw our first match of the All Star Pro Gold Star Tournament between Rain Man and Taylor Norton. In our opening contest, it had superb wrestling and good heat. Taylor Norton defeats Rain Man in 18 minutes and 21 by pinfall with a tumbleweed splash. The match was designed to work the crowd, and it was part of the Gold Star Tournament. So our first ever Gold Star Tournament gets a 45, with Taylor Norton outperforming Rain Man. Good choice there. And the match was poorly placed with the crowd already hot, so good to note. But it didn't matter. It didn't really hurt the match, so I don't care. And now we have another very incredible matchup. This is a tag team match between the San Diego Girls and Politically Incorrect. This was just kind of a filler match to see how everybody does. It was a great wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. The San Diego Girls defeats Politically Incorrect in 15 minutes and 21 when Izzy Quick pinned Black Diamond with a victory roll. And the match got a 44. Commentary does well. The match got the crowd hotter. Coco Malloy got a 45. So she's somebody to look out for as well. 37 for Izzy Quick and Duplicate, and 33 for Black Diamond. Coco Malloy, she's somebody to look out for. And then Rowdy Ryan Robertson is backstage, and he mentions to the boss, he goes, "Hey, big boss, I understand that the Gold Star tournament is taking place. Why am I not in the tournament?" And then I simply say, "Well, there is one match available. Do you want me to get you a match up against Uh, the Masked Grappler, do you want me to get you into a matchup against Mercutio Sleep? And Rowdy said, no, 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 no. I don't care about those guys. I want you. I want to prove to the world that I can defeat the big boss herself. And then I say, well, I guess I can prove to the world that I still got it in the bag. I'll see you in the ring, Rowdy. So it is a bout between Rowdy Ryan Robertson and myself. And got a 56. So great job there. Rowdy Ryan Robertson did not improvise well. I improvised well. The hot catchphrase and a groundswell of public support. And the bout had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Rowdy Ryan Robertson beats the big boss in 14 minutes 44 by pinfall with a lariat clothesline. This was supposed to be a storytelling match. I got a 62. He had a 32. I benefited from having a hot new move and a groundswell of public support. Yep, Rowdy Ryan Robertson advances in the tournament. And yeah, great stuff there. Another tournament matchup takes place between Juggernaut Jones and MMA. The match had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. MMA defeats Juggernaut Jones in 11 minutes and 7 seconds when Juggernaut Jones got disqualified with an intentional run-in attacking Wild Red Stallion, attacking MMA. So MMA wins, but by being attacked by Wild Red Stallion, and the referee calls it, he stops the match, and Juggernaut Jones is just like, Wild Red Stallion, what are you doing? And they both start brawling. So Juggernaut Jones and Wild Red Stallion are not done with each other. MMA advances on the tournament. Commentary doing well. The match got a 47. So yeah, Juggernaut Jones and Wild Red Stallion are not done with each other. MMA advances to the tournament because of Wild Red Stallion. And yeah, we also saw Ali Perks take on the newest member of El Inferno Horde. And that being Elsa Calvo. It was a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Elsa Calvo ends up defeating Ali Perks in 14 minutes and 43 by pinfall with a running bulldog. Ali Perks was saving the day for Becca Barton, if you remember from last time around. And Elsa Calvo was the newest member of El Inferno Horde. Elsa Calvo had a great in-ring performance of 43. Ali Perks had an in-ring performance of 23. Commentary did well. The match got a 40. And now we move on to the next tournament match between Buzz Reed and Clark Smallbone. It had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Clark Smallbone defeated Buzz Reed in 13 minutes 31 by pinfall with a lightning kick. This match was part of the Gold Star tournament. Clark Smallbone outperforming so right decision there. Commentary gets the win, boosts match. So Clark Smallbone will advance on to the quarterfinals, I believe. And then for the 5-star championship main event, we had Mercutio Sleep, Jules Knight, going one-on-one. The bout had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Mercutio Sleep defeated Jules Knight in 17:36 by pinfall using underhanded tactics, so he cheats to get the win and to retain. Mercutio Sleep makes his second defense of the 5-star championship. Jules Knight actually outperforms Mercutio Sleep by 1, and they have great chemistry against each other, which is also great to see. So great main event, great show altogether, honestly. The show gets a 51. The co-main event was the only thing that was just kind of decent. Everywhere else, we had very incredible stuff. This was honestly one of our best shows that we've put on so far, all around. Yeah, great stuff. And we increase our popularity. And I'm going to put over Juggernaut Jones and Jules Knight. Praised for a great performance. Praised for a great performance. Juggernaut Jones seemed pleased. Jules Knight seemed pleased. And we gained money, $108,702. And we've gained popularity all around the world. We went to 15 in the Midwest. That is great to see. We went from 7 to 8 in the Great Lakes, in the Mid-South and Northwest. And we went from 4 to 5 in New England, 3 to 4 in Puerto Rico and Hawaii, 5 to 6 in Tri-State, Southwest, Southeast, and Mid-Atlantic. We gained from 1 to 2 in all of the British Isles, and 0 to 1 in India. So everywhere in the world now we actually have some popularity. It's no longer 0 in some places. And we did gain popularity elsewhere. There was just no visible changes. So, yeah. Great stuff there. And we now are set to move on to Psycho Circus, where we will see more tournament action, and we will also see not Mercutio Sleep, sorry, where we will also see Roger Montero battle it out to end the storyline with Primetime Jack Pride finally. Ellie Mae Walton actually goes to QAW in a All-Stars Alliance round. Very cool. Brett Graveson likes Primetime Jack Pride. And we got 451,423 viewers for All-Star Pros. Self-Destruction. One of our best shows we've done so far. And we now will take a look at the tournament. Clark Smallbone beats Buzz Reed. Rowdy Ryan Robertson beats the Big Boss herself. Taylor Norton defeats Rain Man. MMA defeats Juggernaut Jones. So we've got Clark Smallbone, Rowdy Ryan Robertson, Taylor Norton, and MMA in the quarterfinals. All in different spots. So Psycho Circus will see everyone here wrestle each other. I'm taking a look at Tsuki Kawasaki, right? And Kawa Kawa Ka, Kawamata. She will be retiring in 17 days. So we need to move Psycho Circus to. I'm gonna do July 23rd. That's what I think I'll do. So yeah, Kawamata. Tsuki Kawamata. Yeah, okay, cool. And I will remove um Dr. Funkenstein from their team. He of course is very upset about that. Um I'll give him a character idea, and it was a success. He's still gonna be annoyed for quite some time though, I assume. Um let's give him a bonus and see what happens. Yeah, he's still gonna be annoyed. Um yeah, now let's get set for Psycho Circus. Okay, and we are here now at ASP Psycho Circus. Nobody's getting the night off. You know what time it is. We're going to Lincoln, Nebraska. And we will go to pay-per-view this time around. And now the booking team meeting. Alright. 218 creative energy. We'll do a character idea. A safe bet. We'll do another character idea. A bit of a gamble, so we're not going to do it. Creative finish. A big gamble. We'll do 2 more character ideas. A bit of a gamble. And a near certainty on the masked grappler. Alright, locker room incidents. Pre-show training drills. Pre-show training drills. Alright, nothing happened. Really? Let's do team bonding. Worsened relationships happened. But mostly strengthened relationships. That's good to see. And now it's time to book Psycho Circus. I will be back. Okay. And we are now set to go for Psycho Circus. And in the opening contest, we've got the tournament, the Gold Star tournament continuing on. Not only that, but it will also be a world title, sorry, a 5-star title match. Ashley Grover will be taking on Mercutio Sleep. If Ashley Grover wins, she not only becomes the 5-star champion, she would also advance to the quarterfinals. Huge opportunity here for Ashley Grover. Original Center will be taking on somebody that I loaned from the All Stars Alliance. I managed to loan a bunch of different people from the All Stars Alliance. So you'll be seeing a bunch of people that are from different promotions here for the next couple of shows. The trio champs, next gen, they will huddle up in typical fashion with Joe Gilbert. And then this is actually Tsuki Kawamata's last match before she retires. And then there will be a hype video for our new 5-star tag champs. In our main event, we'll see the end between Roger Montero and Primetime Jack Pride. Let's move on now to the promo that we saw open the show. Kate Lily was at her house saying, "Look at all this cool stuff that I've got. I managed to do all these different things. And the whole reason that I'm even here in this house is because I've worked so hard to get to where I am today. And one of these days, I will hold the 5-star championship right here in my collection. So watch out, world, because All-Star Pro is my territory. And the 5-star title is going into my collection." Kate Lily clearly enjoyed having the freedom to go off script. The angle idea was a success. It was a 51, so yeah, it was really good. The crowd was really hot, and it got the show off to a strong start. And in our opening contest, we had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd for our opening contest. Ashley Grover defeats Mercutio Sleep in 15 minutes and 10 in a disqualification. So basically what happens is Mercutio Sleep tries to cheat, and he gets caught. Also, they have great chemistry in fighting each other. And so Mercutio Sleep is still the 5-star champion. He tries to cheat, and the referee catches him, so he makes it a DQ. And Ashley Grover advances to the quarterfinal round. And Mercutio Sleep starts crashing out, and he ends up grabbing a bunch of his hair and drops it in the middle of the ring, and he just starts storming off into the back, holding his 5-star championship with him. Commentary did well. The match got the crowd hotter. It's at 45. And then we saw Original Sinner take on Bollywood Bat. And Original Sinner got the victory in 9 minutes and 53 by pinfall with a choke slam. The creative finish was a success. Good commentary. Kumar Kong could have been better as the road agent. The match wasn't put together very well. So that's something to think about. And then next gen, all huddle up. Joe Gilbert says, "All right, team, huddle up." And they all huddle up. And they said, and then Joe Gilbert says, "Take a look at this. We are the first ever trio champs." What does this stand for again? And then Danielle Sweetheart says, "It stands for the rest is obsolete." And then Joe says, "What does obsolete mean?" So so there's a little bit of comedy going on here. But then they continue on talking about their next title defense, and for their first ever title defense, actually. And speaking of which, a note comes down into the ring, and Golden Delicious says, "Hey, team captain, we received a note." And the note says, "Next gen, I see you guys are the trio champs, and us three want your belts." So then Joe Gilbert says, "How do we know if this is legit?" And Danielle Sweetheart says, "Only one way to find out. Let's accept." So then all three of them put their hands together. 3, 2, 1, next gen! And yeah, that's kind of where that went from there. They are outside. They are at a hockey venue, is where they're at right in this segment. So yeah, very much Joe Gilbert's ball game. And then we see the Masked Grappler take on Jules Knight in one-on-one action, in a bout that had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Jules Knight defeats the Masked Grappler in 15 minutes and 7 by pinfall with a surprise inside cradle. To everyone's shock, no one saw that coming. Everyone was expecting the Masked Grappler to get the victory over Jules Knight, but no, Jules Knight advances to the quarterfinals, to everyone's shock. Even the Masked Grappler is shocked about this. He gets so shocked that he almost ends up ripping off his mask, but he doesn't, but he almost does. And the match gets a 50. What a bout between both of these two, and what a surprise victory for Jules Knight. He gets to ride into the quarterfinals with a bunch of momentum after defeating the Masked Grappler. This is huge. And Tsuki Kawamata, in her last match, takes on Too Hot, which was a pretty decent match. Too Hot defeats Kawamata in 15 minutes and 29 with a heat-seeking missile. So Kawamata loses in her final match. But she goes off pretty well here with a pretty long match. And the match was actually decent. So wasn't really anything too crazy. I wasn't trying to make it anything too crazy. I probably could have done a better job of booking Kawamata in her final match, but oh well. She's still on the booking team and she'll still be useful as we have her as a road agent too. So she'll still be useful. As long as she's only retiring from in-ring action. And then we saw Phenomenal E take on Lily Snyder as a part of the tournament once again. It was a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Lily Snyder defeats Phenomenal E by submission. The match was to calm the crowd, in which it did. They don't seem to click, which is unfortunate. The match did bring the fans back down a little bit. Lily Snyder did outperform Phenomenal E, which she got the win, so that's good to see. What sucks is that they didn't seem to click, which I think hurt the match, but the commentary did well, as usual. And we move on to the video package between Clark Smallbone and Perry Longstaff. This is Minnesota here. They're the tag champs, and it did not do very well. That's unfortunate, but that's okay. For our main event, we saw Roger Montero take on Primetime Jack Pride. This is the end. This is going to be the final blow off to the first ever storyline we started here at All Star Pro. And a bout that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Roger Montero did a time limit draw with Primetime Jack Pride in 20 minutes with a time limit draw. So no, this isn't the end of Roger Montero in Primetime Jack Pride. And then you can hear the crowd start saying, 5 more minutes. And they continue on chanting 5 more minutes, and nothing ever happens. What a main event, though. We got a time limit draw instead of a winner to end the show. Primetime Jack Pride was really off his game. That was to be expected. Commentary did well, though, and the match got the crowd hotter. So Roger Montero was very upset that Primetime Jack Pride almost injured him with a botch move. The show still got a 42, considering how terrible the main event and it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't great, and how terrible the hype video was. We increased popularity in 46 regions. Having the wide selection of angles it benefited the show as well. I'm going to put over Roger Montero and the Masked Grappler. Praise for a great performance. Praise for a great performance. Roger Montero seemed pleased. Masked Grappler was pleased. And we've got 66,400 dollars in profit, and $70,294 on pay-per-view revenue. Ticket sales did well as well. And popularity recap. We gained popularity everywhere except for the United States, as we go 1-2 in Quebec. So we did gain popularity at least. And now we get set for our next show. Lots of different things going on there. And Suki Kawamata has officially retired. And she will be staying with perfect. So Kawamata will be staying with us, and Canadian Dragons gone from All-Star Pro, doing road agent work, I assume. Kumar Kong has left All-Star Pro as he was doing some road agent work. Bollywood Bat is gone from the match with the original sinner. Kawamata is retired. And we got 70,294 buys for the pay-per-view. So there you go. Psycho Circus was extremely positive, it looks like. And Times of Trouble is up next. And this will be Revolution. I'm going to change Kawamata to not be a manager. We're not doing managers here at All-Star Pro. And yeah, we're getting set now to have our second show of the episode, and it being Times of Trouble. Let's get on going as we continue to try and gain some more popularity and make some more money and just continue to make a rise in professional wrestling for All-Star Pro. I'm not really sure how long I plan on having Mercutio Sleep stay the 5-star champion. I'm pretty sure if he ends up taking on the Masked Grappler at some point, I have a feeling I'm probably going to end up giving the belt over to the Masked Grappler if that does happen. I don't know, though. I may come up with a surprise victory for Mercutio sleep somehow in some way. I'd want to build some kind of storyline for that too, though. Not just have it be some sort of random match between Sleep and Masked Grappler. But I don't know. I've got plans for next gen, even if they do lose uh the trio belts. I have plans for next gen. They will be a long-time faction here at All Star Pro. At least that's the plan. Joe Gilbert may not always be the leader. I'm not really sure. I kind of want to keep Joe Gilbert as the leader for All Star. I mean, for for next gen, at least for right now. Basically, for my 3 factions right now, we've got the truly best, next gen, and El Inferno Horde. And next next gen is basically like one of those like regular like sports teams where it's like for in at least right now like it's kind of what it is. It's Joe Gilbert's team basically. It as his whole gimmick is that he's a hockey fan or a hockey player. So he was been doing a lot of like the huddles and reaching in arms, doing 1, 2, 3, go team. And he managed to get 2 people to team with him for the trio title fight match, whatever match. I'm sorry. And he is basically using next gen to for that. It's like a sports team type of thing that you would see in football or hockey or basketball, basically. It's kind of what next gen is at the moment. But I may end up changing what next gen is if Joe Gilbert retires and he decides to not do anything backstage or whatever. Or if I end up moving Joe Gilbert away from next gen, I've got plans. El Inferno Horde is a cult, basically, where there are some very creepy people that confuse the crap out of me, especially. Not me in game, like me here, me talking right now at this moment. They confuse me a lot with their shenanigans. And they set people on fire as part of rituals, basic in their mindset. The crowd would definitely see them as very creepy people. And then, of course, we have the truly best, which is our top faction at All Star Pro. That's our first ever faction we did. Right now, it has the 5-star champion, Ellie Mae Walton, and Texas Hangman. I did mention early on that I didn't have very many plans for Texas Hangman, and I didn't really know how long the truly best would be a faction, but they ended up gaining traction really quickly. So then I was just like, screw it. Let's keep them as a faction, pretty much. And they're just kind of like, oh, we truly are the best, and we're going to prove it, basically. So there you go there. That's kind of the description there. And let's go to Times of Trouble now. No one will be getting the night off. We will go to Sioux Falls, South Dakota. And we will go for ASP Commercial and Public. Booking team meeting. We got 185 creative energy. We'll do an angle idea, a near certainty, and a character idea. Likely to succeed on stand mana. We'll do 2 creative finishes. Likely to succeed on anyone. A near certainty on Rock and Ryan Turner. Cool beans. And Rock and Ryan Turner and Clark Smallbone really helped create a fun and relaxed atmosphere after somehow finding a karaoke machine and starting a impromptu pre-show competition. Cool beans. Pre-show training drills. Apparently Queen Amazon and Muscle Serizawa had a blazing argument. Okay. And we'll do an open forum. Dr. Funkenstein was annoyed and he aired his issues and got a small morale boost. Roger Montero, who was irritated, aired his issues, he got a small morale boost. Xander West, who was annoyed, aired his issues and got a small morale boost. I know that impacts the backstage environment too, though. Let's see. As we go backstage and the open forum does impacts the backstage environment. Which is basically that makes sense because people are airing their morale issues, basically. So that makes sense. And now we go to Times of Trouble. We got another Root Rules match. And Roger Montero and Primetime Jack Pride are doing an Iron Man match now. But yeah, you guys now know that Primetime Jack Pride's going to win. I honestly don't really care that Roger Montero's furious about the booking. Yeah, I really don't care. And I'll be back to booking the rest of the show. Okie dokie. And now it's time for Times of Trouble. We've got 2 dark matches taking place. Another Root Rules match. Lily Snyder we've got the Gold Star Tournament continuing on. The 5-star tag team titles will be on the line for the first time. As Minnesota Awesome are making their first title defenses up against a new tag team called Mercury Rising, which is the team of Mel Torment and Ricky Turner. And then El Inferno Horde have some stuff going on. Roger Montero and Primetime Jack Pride will main event once again, this time in an Iron Man match. So there has to be a winner. And things might be rough here emotionally, as Primetime Jack Pride was blamed for a lot of a botch that he did for almost injuring Roger Montero. So this might end up being a interesting matchup for our main event. And yeah, let's get on with the show. The pre-show bout had decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Pepper Pelton defeated Phil Anders and Xander West in 9 minutes and 33. And Pepper Pelton pinned Phil Anders with Fisherman's suplex. The match got a 26. 27s for Pepper Pelton and Xander West, and a 19 for Phil Anders. He was really off his game. Commentary did well. And a much better pre-show bout, a 10-man tag. It was a bout that decent wrestling, but didn't have much heat. Axel Brown, Blue Dragon, Brett Kyle, Cheech Kong, and Jason Patterson defeated Flying Patriot, Jay Silver, Mellow Flashheart, Original Silver, and Taylor Kidd in 18 minutes and 14 when Jason Patterson pinned Flying Patriot with an Oklahoma Stampede. Original Center was really off his game, and commentary did well. And for our opening contest, it was a Root Rules match that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. TJ Bailey defeated Kaz in 21 minutes 36 by pinfall for the TJ time. Kaz actually outperformed TJ Bailey, and his gimmick was adequate. The segment got a 42. Great matchup, and the match got the show off to a strong start, with commentary doing a great job for opening contest. Great showing there between Kaz and TJ Bailey for our first Root Rules match with somebody not from All Star Pro. So that's pretty exciting. The All Stars Alliance doing us great wonders. And we continue on the Gold Star Tournament. Rowdy Ryan Robertson loses against Lily Snyder in 17 minutes and 40 by pinfall. The match was to tell a story, and they don't seem to click, which made for an awkward bout. The commentary did well. And the match got the crowd hotter. And MMA goes one-on-one with Jules Knight, which was a wild brawl. MMA defeats Jules Knight in 13 minutes in 3 seconds by submission with a triangle choke. So Jules Knight does not advance farther into the semifinals. Commentary does well. Match got a 33. Yeah, on to the next match. And the 5-star tag team title matchup sees Minnesota Awesome defend against Mercury Rising. And they do win and retain. And Clark Smallbone pins Ricky Turner with a double flying elbows. This is the first defense of the first ever title defense of the 5-star tag titles in All-Star Pro, so that was pretty cool to see. Clark Smallbone has a 47, Barry Longstaff with a 43, Ricky Turner with a 40, and Mel Torment with a 24. Minnesota Awesome got a tag team specialist bonus. Excellent chemistry on Mercury Rising. Great commentary, and the match got the crowd hotter. And we saw Taylor Norton take on Too Hot. It was a great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Taylor Norton defeats Too Hot in 8 minutes and 20 by pinfall with a tumbleweed splash. So Taylor Norton advances to the semifinals of the tournament. And Taylor Norton doing a great job. 51. Too Hot with a 28. The match got a 47. And backstage, we hear a TV screen. And it says, welcome to All Star Pro, and then the screen starts glitching once again, and then goes into it like starts with a transition. It goes like into like white noise sort of, but it's a transition. And also Rory wants me, so that was interesting. Seeing that Queen Amazon enjoyed going off script. Elsa Calvo enjoyed going off script. The angle idea was a success. And yeah, great work there from El Inferno Horde. And on our main event, we saw good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Primetime Jack Pride defeats Roger Montero by 2 falls to 1. So the match got a 35. Primetime Jack Pride seemed off his game, and commentary did well. And we get a 38 in overall rating show. The show increases popularity in all around the world, I believe. So I will put over Roger Montero once again, and I will put over Lily Snyder, I guess. Yeah. Praise for a great performance. Roger Montero was pleased with your speech. Lily Snyder seemed pleased. We did lose money, but that's okay. And popularity does increase everywhere. We went from 15 to 16 in the Midwest, 8 to 9 in the Great Lakes, in Mid South, Northwest, and all around the United States. We gained at least one popularity. Uh, Everywhere in Mexico, the Maritimes went from 1 to 2. British Columbia and Alberta went from 2 to 3. Everywhere else did increase, but there were no visible changes. So that's great to see. We're so much closer now to reaching tiny. Um, if everything goes well, I have a great feeling that we'll reach tiny at the next show. And that will be huge for us. All-Star Pro, reaching tiny within like 7 months of the save. So we've been increasing popularity pretty quickly so far. In times of trouble, was very positive. Kaz is gone, and we got 398,100 viewers, which is pretty awesome. And we now will be going to Revolution. Roger Montero has some big morale issues. So yeah, it's not looking good for us. I might have to give a pretty large bonus to him. Let's go 100,000. All right, there we go. And we'll be giving another bonus to Xander West. Still nothing. Dr. Funkenstein. Give bonuses to 10,000. Let's see. Okay, Dr. Funkenstein's happy. And yeah, Revolution is in 4 days. And so I ended up I'm just happy that Roger Montero ended up not being too angry at me to a point where he was like, I want out of the company, release me. Because he still does good shows. He's got 40s in the in-ring performances. So he's still useful, and I could definitely still put him into some matches and stuff. But that was just also really to put some spotlight onto Primetime Jack Pride as well. He seems to be one of those guys where everybody was talking, and he's just the showstopper in that sense. We already know he's great on the mic. In ring is a different story. Yeah, But um, it's it's a work in progress, especially since we're still kind of trying to build up our roster, and we're doing the Gold Star tournament right now. Uh, and so there's that. That's pretty cool. Have you guys been enjoying the TW9 save so far? Let me know what you guys think. Um, and have you, for those of you that have watched my WMMA 5 save as well, have you enjoyed that so far too? Would you like to see more in the WMMA 5 save? Or are you guys okay with the fact that I've been doing mostly EW9 stuff, trying to catch up to 2024, pretty much? Um, and Christy Higgins has left 5-star wrestling, just fine. And I'm gonna try and see if I can. I've already done a lot for Xander West, and honestly, if he wants to leave, I don't even care. And All Star Pro Revolution is tonight. Um, so hopefully we can get tiny. We can become tiny at all for All Star Pro. We are not giving anyone the night off. We will do a generic venue this time around. Finalized broadcasters. Let's go with commercial. And we got 181 creative energy. So we will do a character idea, likely to succeed. And an angle idea, a near certainty on anyone. And then we'll do 2 creative finishes. Big gambles, so I'm not going to do that. Likely to succeed, okay, on anyone, okay, cool. And there was apparently a huge row on Mellow Flashheart and Jaina Marie Bowen. We're gonna have that turn into a match, actually. So, pretty cool. Lily Snyder has been talking to Mellow Flashheart a lot recently and has been seems to be having some degree of influence over her behavior. Cheech Kong has a creative finish. Coco Malloy has a character idea. TJ Bailey has a creative finish. Phil Anders brightened the backstage area simply by being so cheerful and fun to be around. Coco Malloy and Becca Barton created a fun and relaxed atmosphere after finding a karaoke machine, starting an impromptu pre-show competition, and then the pre-training, passing tips on psychology to Primetime Jack Pride. And we will do team bonding. And the relationships were strengthened. That's great to see. So we will now do Mellow Flash Heart and Jane Marie Bowen. So there we go there. And I'll be back booking the rest of the show. Okay, and we are here with All-Star Pro Revolution. And we are seeing the real life thing that happened backstage earlier on before the show. Mela Flashheart, Jana Marie Bowen, blurring the lines between fiction and reality a little bit here. With that being our opening contest. I was trying to get Ashley Grover into the tournament match, but her opponent is currently wrestling at his company, and I totally forgot about looking at the availability to see who's available and who's not. I totally forgot about that, which is a little unfortunate, but that's okay. Next Gen will be having their trio defense up against whomever wrote the note and their teammates. And Rockin' Ryan Turner will actually be taking on somebody from a different promotion. Heart Saito, she'll be making her All-Star Pro debut up against Rockin' Ryan Turner. That'll be our main event. And yeah, let's get going with it. In a decent match, Jana Marie Bowen defeats Mellow Flash Hart in 7 minutes 49 by pinfall with a Bowen technique. The match got a 30. She had a 32. Mellow had an 18. Commentary did well, and the match got the show off to a strong start. And we got a 32 between Cheech Kong and Blue Dragon. The bout had decent wrestling with not much heat. Cheech Kong defeats Blue Dragon in 13 minutes and 15 by pinfall with a moonsault. He has 36, while Cheech Kong had a 26. So that didn't go so well. Cheech Kong seemed off his game, and the creative finish was a failure, which is fine. It was a bit of a gamble, so I'm not very surprised by that. Commentary did well. And we saw Ashley Grover take on Power Girl in singles action that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Ashley Grover defeats Power Girl in 9 minutes and 38 by pinfall with a Chicago Hope. She has a 42 and Power Girl has a 28. Commentary boosts the match with a 40 rating match. And we saw TJ Bailey and Brett Kyle take on Houston Handley and Millie the Minx. An bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. TJ Bailey and Brett Kyle defeats Houston Handley and Millie the Minx in 10 minutes and 15. TJ Bailey pinned Millie the Minx with a TJ time. And the creative finish was a success. Commentary did well. So Next Gen come out and they reach out their hands. 1, 2, 3, Next Gen! And it turns out that Aiden Strider, Muscle Serizawa, and Dr. Funkenstein are the ones that are challenging Next Gen for the trio titles. and Joe Gilbert retains by pinning Aiden Strider with a face-off. The match was supposed to have a lot of high spots. And Next Gen make the first defense of the trio titles. And Muscle Serizawa's gimmick was great. Commentary did well, and the match went a little too long given its high spots match, which I forgot to change that, but that's okay. And then Juggernaut Jones goes up against Mercutio Sleep, and basically what happens there is that Mercutio Sleep starts talking a bunch of trash, and then Juggernaut Jones comes around and he says, and Mercutio says, Juggernaut Jones, you got involved in my match. Now you're going to pay. And Juggernaut says, oh yeah? How are you going to do that? And then Mercutio says, by doing this. And then they both have a backstage brawl between each other. The angle idea was a failure, but that's okay. And for our main event, it was a 51, my god. And it had superb wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. Rockin' Ryan Turner defeats Art Saito in 14 minutes 11 by pinfall with a 6-string shooter. The creative finish was a success. Commentary did well. What a main event. We got a 47 for our show rating. Hopefully that's enough to go to Tiny. We will let's go with Blue Dragon and Power Girl. Praised for a great performance. Praised for a great performance. Blue Dragon was praised for her speech, and Power Girl seemed pleased. We gained $101,095 profit, and we did not go to 17 popularity in the Midwest. That's unfortunate. We did gain popularity in the British Isles and in Japan. So there is that. Hawaii was the only region that there were no changes, but everywhere else there were no visible changes. That sucks for me though, because I wanted us to reach Tiny. But obviously that didn't end up happening. So, it's a little upsetting. Yeah, sometimes things change. We got Aiden Strider's gone, Heart Saito's gone, Muscle Serizawa's gone. We got 522,452 viewers and 0.69 nice TV rating. And yeah, ASP Revolution was extremely positive feedback. We had 144 fans, and yeah, we're starting to look good. Um, merchandise wise, we are at 32% now. And yeah, that should be it, I believe. That is it for this episode, and I'll catch you on the flip side.